In a world filled with noise and chaos, encountering individuals who sap our emotional energy, often termed energy vampires, can be an everyday reality. These individuals drain our vitality, leaving us exhausted and stressed. However, Stoic wisdom offers us tools not just to cope but to thrive amidst such challenges. Today, we'll explore practical strategies inspired by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus to help you manage your interactions with energy vampires effectively. Before we dive into these life-changing strategies, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and watch the entire video without skipping to get the most out of every tip we're going to discuss today. Number 1. Identifying energy vampires. Imagine having a coffee with a friend who suddenly turns every topic into a problem or drama. These are not necessarily people with bad intentions, but their presence can feel like a cloud overshadowing a sunny day. This is where Stoic wisdom steps in to shine a light. Remember, Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful reminder helps us see that our first step is recognizing these energy drainers for what they truly are: opportunities for us to strengthen our emotional resilience. How can you recognize the signs of an energy vampire? They often exude a mix of neediness and negativity. They might consistently focus on the bad in every situation, ignoring the good. This chronic negativity can manifest as constant complaining, where there's more interest in venting than in seeking solutions. Or you might notice they seek attention excessively, making every conversation about themselves, which can leave you feeling emotionally depleted. Moreover, energy vampires can be manipulative, using guilt or flattery to rope you into their emotional drama. Recognizing these behaviors early on is like setting up an early warning system for your mental peace. Epictetus, a sage in the Stoic tradition, offers a crucial piece of advice here. It's not what happens to us that causes us stress, but how we think about it. By identifying these draining behaviors without absorbing them, you're taking the first step in protecting your peace of mind. It's essential to keep this identification process non-judgmental and observational. Think of it as a mental note rather than a verdict. This approach isn't about labeling people, but about recognizing behaviors that don't contribute positively to our well-being. As Stoics, we strive to see things for what they are, and in doing so, we empower ourselves to respond with wisdom and strength. By understanding and spotting these energy vampires, you're better prepared to maintain your tranquility and keep your interactions constructive and positive. Remember, every interaction is a chance to practice your Stoic skills, strengthening your emotional fortress against the potential storms of human interaction. Number 2. Setting boundaries. Once we recognize someone as an energy vampire, the next critical step is to set boundaries. Think of it like drawing a gentle yet clear line in the sand around your emotional space. Marcus Aurelius once highlighted the importance of inner fortress, saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Setting boundaries is essentially about controlling this space, not letting external behaviors dictate your peace. Setting boundaries is really about communicating what you can tolerate in your space and what you can't, and doing it in a way that respects both your well-being and the dignity of others. Here's a way to think about it. If a friend starts overwhelming you with negativity during a coffee chat, it's like they're spilling their coffee all over your table. It's okay to tell them, "Hey, let's keep the coffee on the table." It's simple, it's clear, and it sets the necessary boundary to keep things clean and enjoyable for both of you. When you convey your boundaries, do it with the calm authority of a Stoic. Remember, Stoicism doesn't ask us to be devoid of feelings, but to manage them with wisdom. Seneca pointed out that being disturbed is a choice when he said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Apply this by calmly explaining your needs without getting emotionally overwhelmed. Sometimes it's about repeating your needs without escalation. persistence with patience is key. Just as a teacher patiently reinforces lessons to students, we might need to reinforce our boundaries to others. The goal here is to build understanding, not barriers. Through these conversations, where you assert your needs gently and consistently, you teach others how to treat you, and you treat your own well-being with respect. This is what setting boundaries is all about: protecting your peace and potential in a world that can often be quite chaotic. Number 3, practicing emotional detachment. Embracing emotional detachment might sound a bit cold at first, but in the Stoic sense, it's really about maintaining a healthy perspective on your interactions. It's like watching a storm from a safe shelter. You can appreciate the power of the emotions without getting swept away by them. Seneca, who often wrote about the peace found in a balanced mind, reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. This insight from Stoicism encourages us to find contentment not by having more emotional engagement, but by desiring less turmoil. When you practice emotional detachment, it's helpful to visualize yourself as a fortress. The walls are your principles, and your self-awareness, they protect you from external emotional fluctuations. When an energy vampire starts leaning into their typical draining behaviors, whether that's endless complaining, negativity, or gossip, you recognize these as rain against your fortifications. Your response? You remain calm, offer a nod, or perhaps steer the conversation in a more positive direction without absorbing the emotional weight. This doesn't mean ignoring the person or dismissing their feelings. Rather, it's about engaging with them in a way that preserves your inner calm. You can listen and acknowledge their feelings, but keep your emotional distance. For instance, if a coworker is venting about the workplace, you might say, "It sounds like you're really passionate about this," and then gently pivot to discussing solutions or changing the subject altogether. Epictetus gave us a powerful tool when he said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." By practicing emotional detachment, you're not just talking about Stoic ideals, you're living them. You show that you can be compassionate and connected, yet not overwhelmed or overly reactive. This balance is the hallmark of a practiced Stoic and is incredibly effective in dealing with energy vampires. Moreover, this practice helps you in cultivating a space where your reactions are chosen, not compelled. Each time you successfully maintain detachment, you strengthen your ability to not give in to emotional provocations in the future. It's about building resilience, not building walls between you and others. This resilience ensures that your energy remains yours, to be spent wisely and joyfully, rather than drained away in fruitless encounters. Thus, emotional detachment is not about isolation, it's about integration with wisdom. It allows you to remain involved with those around you, but on terms that preserve your well-being and uphold your Stoic values. Number 4, using the broken record technique. So let's talk about a scenario where someone just isn't getting the message about your boundaries. This is where the broken record technique comes into play. It's pretty much what it sounds like, calmly repeating your boundary each time it's challenged, much like a broken record that sticks on the same line. This method draws from the Stoic practice of constancy and perseverance, embodying Epictetus's teaching, persist and resist. Imagine you're in a situation where a friend or colleague keeps pressing you to join plans you've already declined. They push, hoping you'll cave, thinking maybe just one more ask will do it. Here's where you channel your inner Stoic, standing firm like a lighthouse against relentless waves. Each time, with the same calm and clarity, you might say, "I appreciate the invite, but as I mentioned, I won't be able to join no matter how many times you have to repeat it." The message remains the same. This technique isn't about being stubborn, it's about being consistent. It's like planting your feet in a river. The water flows around you, sometimes gently, sometimes with force, but you remain steady. This constancy is a core aspect of Stoic discipline and demonstrates to others that your boundaries are not up for negotiation. The beauty of the broken record technique lies in its simplicity and its power to conserve your emotional energy. Instead of getting drawn into an argument or trying to come up with new responses each time, you keep to your established script. This not only saves you from the stress of confrontation, but also sends a clear, consistent message that you are grounded in your decisions. Furthermore, by adopting this technique, you embody another Stoic principle, that of freedom from external control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By repeatedly asserting your stance, you reinforce your autonomy and control over your emotional and mental space. And remember, while it might feel a bit awkward at first to keep repeating yourself, with practice, it becomes a powerful tool in your communication arsenal. It helps set a tone of respect for both your own limits and the person trying to push them, bridging the gap between assertiveness and understanding. It shows that you're not engaging in a power struggle, but rather affirming a well-considered decision. Using the broken record technique is about more than just sticking to your guns. It's about cultivating an environment where clear communication and mutual respect are the norms. It's about not just surviving encounters with energy vampires, but managing them with grace and poise, staying true to your Stoic center. Number 5. Not engaging with provocation. Now, on to navigating provocations without getting pulled into the turmoil. This is where your Stoic armor really gets tested. Think of it like this: when someone tries to provoke you, they're essentially throwing a hook into the water, hoping you'll bite. But as a practicing Stoic, your goal is to see the hook and choose not to take it. Marcus Aurelius offers this timeless advice: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Imagine you're in a conversation and someone throws a snide remark your way. Or maybe they try to guilt you into doing something you're uncomfortable with. It's easy to react impulsively, which is exactly what they're hoping for. But here's where you take a different path. You pause, maybe take a breath, and let their words float by like leaves on a river. You don't ignore them, but you choose not to let them disturb your inner calm. This approach isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending you're not bothered. It's about acknowledging your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Epictetus said it best: don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. It's about maintaining control over your response, which is the only thing truly within your power. Responding to provocation with calmness is also a way of asserting your dignity. It's a declaration that you're not going to be manipulated by someone else's agenda. This doesn't mean you don't address the issue. You can acknowledge their feelings or the content of what they said without engaging in the conflict they're inviting you to. For instance, if someone says, "You never spend time with me because you don't care," instead of getting defensive, you could respond, "I'm sorry you feel that way. Let's find a time to talk about this when we can both be more constructive." This tactic of not engaging also teaches others about respect and boundaries. It shows that while you are open to constructive and respectful dialogue, you are not available for emotional games or manipulation. Seneca's words remind us, wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. By not reacting to provocation, you are practicing a form of kindness to both yourself and the other person, giving them a chance to reflect on their words and perhaps approach future interactions with more thoughtfulness. Moreover, by not taking the bait, you conserve your energy for more positive interactions and more fruitful endeavors. You maintain your peace, keep your environment more harmonious, and stay aligned with your Stoic principles of self-control and rational action. This way, you not only protect your own well-being, but also foster a more positive and respectful communication culture around you. Number 6. Limiting exposure. Let's delve into the idea of limiting exposure to energy vampires. Imagine your time and emotional energy as your most precious resources, like water in a drought. You wouldn't want to waste water on a patch of the garden that never grows. Similarly, when you find that certain interactions drain your spirits and bring little to no reward, it might be time to think about how you can reduce these engagements. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus on what's essential, telling us to do every act in life as if it were our last. Applying this to our social interactions means being more selective about whom we spend our time with. If you find yourself consistently drained after being with certain people, it's worth asking if continuing these interactions is a wise use of your time. In situations where avoiding someone completely isn't feasible, like with coworkers or family members, you can still manage the depth of your engagement. It's perfectly reasonable to keep conversations brief and focused on what's necessary. This isn't about being distant, but about safeguarding your inner peace. And when you do choose to engage, entering with a strategy can be incredibly helpful. This could be as simple as having a mental note of how long you'll stay at an event, or a topic you'll steer conversations towards to keep things neutral and light. Afterwards, take a moment to reflect on these interactions. How did they make you feel? Drained, perhaps a bit frustrated? Or were they unexpectedly pleasant? Use these reflections to adjust your future engagements, learning which interactions are nourishing and which are depleting. By consciously managing who and how you engage, you not only protect yourself from emotional exhaustion, but also enhance the quality of your interactions. This approach allows you to maintain control over your environment and ensure your energies are invested in relationships that are truly reciprocal and rewarding. Number 7. Building a support network. Let's delve into the concept of building a support network, which is much like cultivating a garden of beneficial plants that can thrive together. It's about creating an environment where each individual, including yourself, can grow, flourish, and find mutual support. Seneca beautifully captured the essence of this idea when he said, "One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand, and to be understood. This level of understanding forms the cornerstone of any strong support network." When thinking about your own circle, consider focusing on the depth of your connections. It's the kind of friendships where there's an unspoken understanding that you're there for each other, through thick and thin. These relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect and genuine care, reflecting the Stoic value of community. In these relationships, it's important to create spaces where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings. This is not just about being heard, but about listening, truly listening to what others are saying. It's about showing up, not just during the good times, but also when things get tough. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to act in a way that we wish others would act towards us, which is a guiding principle in nurturing supportive relationships. Celebrating each other's successes is also a key aspect of a strong support network. When a friend achieves something, your genuine happiness for them strengthens the bond and builds a positive environment that's resilient to negativity. And don't forget, keeping in touch regularly is crucial. Life's pace can pull us in different directions, but maintaining those connections, whether through a simple text to say hello, meeting up for coffee, or a call to check in, keeps the network strong. By fostering such relationships, you're not just building a support network, you're also crafting a personal sanctuary that shields and strengthens you against the challenges posed by energy vampires. This network becomes your go-to place for rejuvenation and solidarity, embodying the Stoic ideal of a community that uplifts and sustains its members. Number 8. Taking care of yourself. Self-care is vital, especially when navigating relationships with those who might drain your energy. Stoic philosophy teaches us the value of self-mastery and the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own well-being. Keeping active is one fundamental way to maintain both physical and mental health. Something as simple as daily walks, a bit of yoga, or cycling can significantly boost your mood and energy levels. Physical activity isn't just about keeping fit, it's a powerful tool for clearing your mind and minimizing stress. Reflection and mindfulness are equally crucial. Taking time each day to engage in practices like meditation or even quiet thinking can help center your thoughts and keep you balanced. These practices give you a chance to step back from the busyness of daily life and realign with your core values, which is a key aspect of Stoic living. Eating well supports your body and mind. A balanced diet rich in nutrients can improve your cognitive function and energy levels, making you better equipped to deal with challenging situations and people. Think of it as fueling your body in a way that supports your highest functions. Getting enough quality sleep is another cornerstone of effective self-care. Sleep restores the body and mind, making it easier to handle stress and maintain your emotional balance. It's like pressing the reset button every night to ensure you're ready for whatever the next day brings. The company you keep plays a significant role in your emotional health. Surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people can reinforce your energy and outlook. These relationships create a positive feedback loop that can empower you against the negativity that might come from interactions with energy vampires. Lastly, engaging in hobbies and activities you love can greatly enhance your quality of life. Whether it's painting, music, hiking, or reading, these activities provide a necessary escape and joy that replenish your spirit. Number 9. Remembering it's not about you. When dealing with energy vampires, it's vital to remember that their negativity often isn't about you, it's about them. This perspective is deeply rooted in Stoic thought. Epictetus taught that it's not the events themselves, but our reactions to them that disturb us. So when someone projects negativity, it's usually a reflection of their own internal struggles and not a true assessment of your character. Think of it this way: if someone is quick to anger or constantly negative, it's likely that they are dealing with unresolved issues or stressors in their own life. Recognizing this can change how you perceive these interactions. Instead of taking their words personally, view them as signals of the other person's inner state. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it helps you respond with compassion rather than defensiveness. In practice, this means maintaining your composure when faced with negativity. Imagine you're a mountain, unshaken by the weather swirling around you. Whether it's rain, wind, or the occasional storm, you stand firm. This is the Stoic ideal, being so internally fortified that external circumstances can't disrupt your peace. Applying this in conversations means listening and responding to the content of what's said without getting entangled in the emotion of it. For instance, if someone lashes out in frustration, rather than matching their frustration with your own, you might calmly acknowledge their feelings and redirect the conversation to a more constructive path. This approach not only preserves your peace of mind, but can also diffuse potential conflicts. It's about understanding the boundary between yourself and others, recognizing that their emotional state does not have to dictate yours. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength by practicing this separation. You empower yourself to remain steady, regardless of the emotional turbulence you might encounter. So the next time you find yourself dealing with someone who seems intent on dragging you into their chaos, remember, it's not about you. Keep this Stoic wisdom in mind and use it to maintain your equilibrium. Your response can be a powerful reminder to both yourself and others that while we cannot control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. This realization is liberating and central to practicing Stoicism in everyday life. Number 10. Don't try to fix them. One crucial lesson from Stoic philosophy that's particularly relevant when dealing with energy vampires is that trying to change others is often a futile effort. It's important to realize that everyone is on their own path, and true change must come from within. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best way to avenge yourself is not to become like the wrongdoer in the context of handling energy vampires. This means maintaining your integrity and not getting pulled into their negativity or trying to fix them. Here's a way to think about it. Just as a gardener can't force a seed to sprout before it's time, you can't force someone to change their behavior or attitude. They need to see the need for change themselves, and decide to act on it. Your role isn't to be their therapist or savior, it's to manage how you interact with them to protect your own well-being. Instead of expending your energy on trying to change someone who drains you, focus on what you can control: your reactions, your boundaries, and how much you choose to engage with them. For example, if you're dealing with a coworker who is perpetually negative, instead of trying to cheer them up or change their outlook, you might choose to limit your interactions to professional necessities. Moreover, practicing this Stoic detachment helps preserve your energy for your own growth and well-being. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Spend time with people who reflect the qualities you value and who encourage you to be your best self." This doesn't mean you ignore or dismiss those who are struggling, but it does mean you prioritize your own mental health and choose where to invest your emotional energy wisely. In conversations and interactions, you can certainly offer support and kindness. After all, compassion is a virtue the Stoics held in high regard. However, remember that being supportive doesn't mean taking on the responsibility to change someone. You can listen and offer advice if asked, but let go of the outcome. Their path is theirs to walk, just as yours is yours. So the next time you find yourself wishing someone would just change their draining behavior, remind yourself of this Stoic insight. Focus on cultivating your virtues and maintaining your peace. It's not about indifference, it's about understanding the limits of your influence and directing your efforts where they can truly make a difference. As we navigate through our interactions with energy vampires, embracing Stoic wisdom not only fortifies us, but also enriches our lives with deeper understanding and compassion. Remember, your mental and emotional well-being is a precious resource. Treat it with the care it deserves. Just as the Stoics taught, you hold the power over your reactions, your boundaries, and ultimately your peace. Embody this philosophy, not just as a shield against negativity, but as a beacon that guides your path towards a more fulfilling and harmonious life. Each step you take in asserting your boundaries, practicing self-care, and choosing where to invest your emotional energy, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Now, if you found today's discussion helpful and are looking for more insights on how to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, I encourage you to watch our playlist right here on the screen. We'll dive deeper into the world of Stoic wisdom and discover more ways to turn everyday struggles into opportunities for growth and inner peace. Thank you for watching, and remember, cultivate your inner strength, for it is the most powerful defense you have.